And welcome to the Magic Park here in Broadmeadow for the first leg of the semi-final series between 4th place Broadmeadow Magic and the Premiers Maitland FC. And also, 11 from now become 4. After 22 rounds, one of the tightest final races in the NPL Northern New South Wales history, spring has sprung and the semi-finals have begun. We were to play this game yesterday at 2:30, rescheduled because of the weather, and Broadmeadow have done a fantastic job in bringing this park back to order in what should be a very entertaining game between Maitland and the home side, Broadmeadow Magic. After 22 rounds and one of the tightest final races in the NPL Northern New South Wales history, we're going to see a team, or you could be excused for thinking it was 2018, because in 2018 the same 4 sides have reached the finals and we get the same semi-final matchups. However, last year, 3rd place Maitland were the underdogs heading into their clash against Broadmeadow. This year, the Premiers have greater expectations and have a shot at to reach their first ever top-flight grand final. Meanwhile, Magic hoping to mark a season which began with so much with so much anticipation, I guess, and so much reason for people to believe that they were going to win the premiership. It wasn't to be, and Maitland were the title contenders. It's the Premiers against the champions, and the semi-finals will now continue. The lineups, I'm joined, by the way, Chris Turner here, joined by Damien Smith, which will run through the lineup. Smudge, you've got the lineup of the Maitland side.
Yeah, so of the Premiers, we've got just quietly, it's a beautiful night here, CT, isn't it? Absolutely pristine weather for football. The Maitland lineup is Matt Trott in goals, number 1. Number 2, Tom Davies. Number 13, Carl Thornton. Number 4, Zach Thomas. Number 3, Liam Thornton. Number 6, Matt Swan. His twin brother, number 9, Andrew Swan. Number 99, Nick Calburn. Number 10, Ryan Clark. Number 11, Joel Wood. And number 30, James Thompson. On the bench, Alex Reid, Sean Pratt, Grant Brown, Matt Thompson and Alex Bozanowski.
For the home side, Broadmeadow Magic, in goals is Paul Bitts. Ryan Enzor, Luke Vigili is wearing the number 5, as opposed to his brother James wearing number 7. And we've got Josh Piddington, captain, Matt Hoole, Jeremy Wilson, Mitch Oxborough and Cale Bradbury. Hayden Seaton will join the starting lineup. Cale Bradbury, as I mentioned before, will be crucial in this one, Smudge. Christian Brymora and already mentioned James Vigili. This match will be under the control of Ryan Gallagher in what we were just mentioning before, a game that Magic expectations were high, just got themselves into the semi-final last week and now coming up against the Premiers in Maitland, who in the end came away with a 5-point gap between second place.
Yeah, massive congratulations for winning the premiership, their first NPL title. But this one's going to be a close one, CT. And just going on Magic lineup, John Majorowski did do the warm-up, and however, he's pulled up lame and he's out, and Hayden Seaton comes into the starting lineup. So Magic having John Majorowski, John Griffith, who's suspended, and Justin Broadley out today, where Maitland have their full complement of players and are raring to go. I think this one's going to be a close one, CT. Maitland's, Broadmeadow's attack is lethal, as we know, but so's Maitland, so it's very crucial. We just came from a cracking game out at Edgeworth, 4-1 victors to Edgeworth Eagles, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think this one's going to be a cracking one as well, and what a wonderful night.
Well, we're just about to get underway here, and this is going to be special. Both sides looking to get straight into the grand final. With a good start today would be something they'd like to replicate, both sides, that Edgeworth have done at their home ground.
So Magic with the kick-off, back to Vigili. Plays it long looking for his brother. That's a lethal combination. It's worked well throughout the course of the year, hasn't it, CT? Vigili to Vigili with that cross-angle ball, trying to get James in behind the back defence. That's where Maitland need to be very careful. I've just noticed Bradbury's starting at the number 9 with Majorowski out. Brian Moore is gone. Brian Moore is starting at the number 9. Looks like Carl Bradbury is playing a little bit deeper, just in front of Oxborough and Wilson as the number 10, which is an interesting move by Zakovic, especially having Oxborough in that deep number 6. I like him a little bit forward, but in saying that, he's got players out like Juddy and John Griffiths, Justin Broadley and John Griffiths, so he probably has no option.
Good, strong challenge there from Piddington. It goes against him, but that's the way his intentions are going to go. He's here. He wants to go all the way with this one in his final year at Broadmeadow. Had a great career. He'd love nothing more than to go out as a winner. Another grand final victory will be on his mind.
Calburn delivers. Nice delivery. Cleared away by Oxborough. And this is where, I was about to say, this is where Broadmeadow can be very dangerous. They transition really quick, like they did just then, and that was well cut out by Zach Thomas. He's had a fabulous season for Maitland, Zach Thomas, the big centre back.
Well, he has, and he's made this season his and been very, very strong. Wins tackles well and often, and his distribution is very, very good. His coach, Michael Bolch, loves it. He's kept him in there and rewarded him with that.
And he's a local boy as well.
Well, the fact that he's holding Alex Reid out of a position there says a whole lot.
And just on the commentary team today, we're supposed to be joined by Ben Holm a little bit late. He got caught up at the Women's Premier League Grand Final where New Lambton were victorious over Merewether in extra time. So congratulations to New Lambton. And again, Oxborough tries to get the ball on deck, tries to play Jim Virgilian nice and quick, but that was well shut down by Calburn. Calburn. And Bitts collects it nice and easy.
And as you mentioned, Smudge, Ben Homer will join us. He's en route from Western. I look forward to his company and his professional commentary when he arrives.
Thompson. Virgili. Swan, as in Matthew Swan. Bit of ping pong here. CT, Ryan Clark pumps it forward. Pennington with time on the ball. Just came from a cracking game out at Edgeworth, didn't we, CT? 4-1 victors, Edgeworth. They ran away with it in the end, but the first 60 minutes was very tight. Lambton went up 1-0 and had a chance to go 2-0 up, but what a bomb by Will Bauer to bring Edgeworth back into the game. Great change by Damien Zane, very smart to bring Tyson Jackson on for a Pedisano, who pushed a bit further forward, and I thought that was a big difference in the game. Here we go with Clark, crosses it, and easy for Bitts.
Yeah, and the substitutions were very, very clever, and they seem to have made the difference. And that man you mentioned, Tyson Jackson, he was the one that really caused some problems down the right-hand side and got a goal himself. And Edgeworth just really went on with it. Going to be tough to stop next week, but you know, from a Lambton's point of view, they'll probably be thinking something along the lines of, we beat them 3-0 at home last week, we can do it again, and that's what we'll do. If we do that, we go through.
Exactly.
That's the scenario.
I think that last goal to make it 4-1 would have just hurt Jimmy Pascoe just a little bit, but you know, they've got a chance to revenge next week.
Well, the other big news for Edgeworth, Josh Evans will come back into that side, and they'll be buoyed by that for sure.
And Dylan Holtz has a chance as well, so.
Yeah, some choices for Damien Zane.
Davies into Calburn. Well defended by Jeremy Wilson. Played well, very well last week, Jeremy Wilson. It was a tense battle last week, wasn't it, CT, between Magic and Charlestown? Both sides had chances. Magic came away through it in the end, but it was tense. I thought Jeremy Wilson was superb.
Yeah, he has been playing in the middle at the back alongside Piddington mostly, and then his injection in the middle of the park has been a good one. And his agility, his speed, his distribution, and his reading of the game is one that's really helped Magic out. Thornton with his delivery.
Oh, oh my God. What happened there, CT?
Well, goal line clearance, and Magic somehow have denied Maitland.
This is where Magic are good on the transition. Bradbury closed down by Zach Thomas, and good cover defence.
Look, what a wonderful set of play there from Maitland, and they just really come out, almost got over the line. A goal line clearance for Oxborough. And then down the other end, Seaton showing some speed. He's got plenty to burn, and we'll watch him, as we did with Oliver Smith, and also Brendan Crowley do the same at end-to-end for the last game they were at. This game's shaping up already. It's one that's going to have plenty of twists and turns.
Yeah, and that's what Mavdakovic does. He sets up a little bit deeper, sort of more of a defensive structure, and they transition quick, and they've got players who can do that. They're quick, they're light, and they can score goals in Bradbury, Vigili, Brymora. And that's gone over to the helicopter pad by Swan. We said even the game earlier, Edgeworth versus Lambton, was very cagey for that 60 minutes, very tight. I think this is going to be very similar here as well. And just on the ground, CT, the ground's looking a lot better than what it was last week. It was quite bumpy last week with a bit of rain. Obviously, it's a little bit heavy underneath, but it's nice and green, actually.
Yeah, even in the last 24 hours, it's really drained away yet. Well, I was here after work yesterday and, on Friday, and so it's had 2 days smudge. As we see Bradbury.
Hurl delivers, nice, Brymora up, nice delivery, Brymora beautifully. He looked nice and high, hung there, just couldn't get that connection with the header.
Yeah, back to the ground, Smudge. Like, they've done really well, and I want to compliment them on the way that they've got to the ground. And there's a lot of them work on it. But as was the case at Edgeworth, we were there this afternoon, that ground is just as good as I've ever seen any ground in history that I've seen.
I agree.
At this time of the year. Yeah. It's just unbelievable. And credit to all of them that have been in the grounds people.
Bradbury.
To bring it to the way that it is.
Evades Matt Swan. Sorry, Andrew Swan. Calburn. Out the Thompson. Sorry, out the Ryan Clark. One-on-one with Hurl. Cuts inside. Strikes it. Just never got that connection. Like magic, Maitland's got some pace up front too. CT, Ryan Clark, James Thompson, and obviously Joel Wood.
Yeah, well, that's right. And both of these sides have great attacking weapons, and sitting behind them, Calburn is likely to produce anything. Very, very consistent. And the Swans sitting in behind that. So another two teams that are evenly matched.
Swan to Clark. Oh, great ball into Wood. Wood one-on-one. Vigili's there and well dispossessed by Luke Vigili on Joel Wood. Great ball in by Clark. One-on-one with Luke Vigili. Joel Wood was, and Luke Vigili won the battle in the end. He played very well last week, Luke Vigili, didn't he? Against Kane Goodchild for Charlestown.
He sure did, and what a massive chance there that was for Maitland. Joel Wood, you'd back him there on most days of the week, and it's just the experience of Vigili just to be able to put him off enough to get him to skew it out to the left.
Calburn with the corner. Delivers, great ball in. Free header, and it's a foul by Carl Thornton on Ryan Enzel. A bit of a push in the back. Great delivery by Calburn.
Smudge. That's another big let off for Broadmeadow. They hit the crossbar. Maitland are now showing why they are the premiers. Love it when teams come out to play.
Calburn, great turn by Calburn. Ball evades Joel Wood. Pennington on the ball. His last season for Magic. He's been a great stalwart for Magic. Over 340 games. Bits looking for James Vigili. That's how they scored last week against Charlestown. Pennington. Magic's back forward, just a little bit deep. They're probably doing that to compensate for the pace of Vigili and Bradbury. So there's no space in beyond. They're just playing, just a little bit deep. And that's a foul on Andrew Swan by Jeremy Wilson. So CT, just to let you know, Andrew Swan's got the orange boots and Matthew Swan, his twin brother's got the black boots. So used to call them by their numbers.
6-1 and 9 Swan. I'm still happy to run with that.
Yeah. Tom Davies.
Only because my eyes aren't that good.
Yep. That's a foul on Tom Davies by Hayden Seaton.
So Davies asks the question. He gets the answer he wants. And Cowburn comes over and takes his time to get this one into the box. And he'll be looking for the likes of the Swans. Clark, Wood in particular. But we know how strong the Swans are in the air. And Carl Thornton is looming. And he's one man will be making a run. Vigili giving plenty of attention, delivered. And there it is, Thornton.
Beautiful ball.
Terrific ball in.
Just swerving around, curling around, dipping over the sort of the defensive line. Beautiful ball. I'd like to know, I haven't got, Bart would know the stats. He was supposed to bring the stats with him, but he's not here yet. How many goals Maitland have scored off set pieces? Because when I watch Bar TV and I've seen them, they've scored quite a few goals off set pieces, mainly due to the delivery of that man there, Nick Calburn. Oxborough. Nice ball by Oxborough. Back to Hurl, back to Pennington. Bits. Surveyed. That's gone out for a Magic throw-in. Nice ball by Bits, looking to get Christian Broadmeadow into the space. He was well closed down by Tom Davies.
Well, haven't Broadmeadow got some speed up front with Seaton, Broadmeadow, Bradbury, and then Vigili on the other side. And I've probably missed someone. So, pace to burn for Broadmeadow up in the top third.
Seaton, he's offside. Just looking at the table, CT, unbelievable season. Maitland obviously wins the comp by 5 points on 43. Then the next three teams on 38 points. That's how tight it is. And that's how these semi-final series is going to be tight as well. That was really tight today, Lambton versus Edgeworth, until it blew out towards the last 15 minutes. I think the whole semi-final, anyone can beat anyone in this final series.
Well, the fact that Lambton won 3-0 last week, we're beaten 4-1 this week. It's a 6-goal turnaround, Smudge, and that's just what's been happening through the semi-final series.
Oxborough. That's the key. Every time Oxborough gets the ball, he looks up for James Vigili in that far side. Good challenge by Oxborough, Seaton, and another strong challenge by Andrew Swan with the orange boots. Bit of feeling in this game, CT.
Well, listen to Pennington go. He just shows you what it means to him.
Good pressure by James Thompson on Luke Vigili. Enzor with the throw in. Good challenge by Zach Thomas.
This time Bradbury makes his move. He's just sent that one forward looking for Broadmeadow. Cut out by Thornton. Cowburn, Joel Wood, Swan, Zach Thomas.
That's well played by Maitland. Good 1-2 football. Nice touch by
Thompson.
Yeah, good touch by Thompson.
Piddington still showing pace and experience to let that one roll over the sideline. Out to safety, and Cowburn, nothing he can do. So Smudge, his first 15 minutes has been probably a similar affair to what we saw Edgeworth and Lambton this afternoon.
Yeah, agree. Like, it was very cagey. We said that. Both sides are lined up very similar here, like out at Edgeworth versus Lambton. They lined up very similar. Not too many clear-cut chances. There's only 1 or 2 clear-cut chances in the first half. It went in 0-0 out at Edgeworth today. I think it's going to be very tight. However, I've got a feeling this game's going to open up, come back end as well.
Yeah, I totally agree and think that it will as well, as we see Clark doing what he does best, going at speed. And that occasion, Hoole's able to pick him out. Wilson to Hoole. He sends that one forward, looking for Vigili, just doesn't make it. And Liam Thornton.
Great ball.
Now he's on for Thompson. Just letting the play catch up a bit is Thompson. He's going one-on-one here with Hoole. Gets past him. Still chance, and there was a big strike from Thompson. Swan. Davies with the delivery. Oh, and an acrobatic, certainly half swing at that by Ryan Clark. No Clarkie's corner here at this ground, but he was certainly looking for the top corner at Broadmeadow.
That was good interchange of play by Maitland. Good desperate defending by Broadmeadow. Zakovic yelling out to bits, a 7-9 CT. Normally your 7-9s are going not that straight. Nice. That's where Magic are dangerous, for that not-on header.
Well, with the pace that we were talking about before.
Yeah, and that's how Vigili scored last week when Bits knocked it on for John Madge, who nodded it on for James Vigili, who lobbed Archibald. Calburn. Thornton. Well played by Maitland. Joel Wood. Got a bit of space here, bit of time. Hits it. And Magic come away with it.
Yeah, so Wilson this time, he's again started well, Smudge. He's been playing well recently, really well. And Magic looking forward to having him bring out a big game. As we see Oxborough on the ball.
Oxborough just a bit frustrated with Gallagher, right, the referee there. He had time on the ball, but Gallagher pulled it up for a free kick. Wilson
comes up with it, and Oxborough finds Bradbury. And in the end, cleaned up by what's almost a shank from Davies. Vigili wants to launch on it. Oh, and a little bit unfortunate for Vigili. Great anticipation. And Wood. Swan, Thompson. And slides it inside for Wood. Decides to have a little half crack at it, but didn't put much on it, Smudge.
Yeah, good transition again by Maitland, because they've got some pace up front as well. You had Calburn coming, bounding through the centre on the left-hand side. But, yeah, that was well played by Maitland. They look threatening going forward, Maitland.
This ball's gone out. And happy Father's Day, Smudge, and to all the dads. I mentioned Father's Day. Great institution that we have. Father's Day, we love it, and we deserve it. Mostly.
Yeah, it's been a great day, actually. Father's Day. Spent the breakfast with the family this morning, then obviously soccer in the afternoon. 2 games, actually, so the missus was very happy about that. Nice touch by Wood. Vigili's put pressure on him. Clark's going. Oh, well defended by Wood. He's one-on-one. And he just passed the post. Sorry, to cut you off there. Pennington did very well there. He stood his ground. He could have dived in on Wood, but he stood his ground. And that was a good opportunity from Maitland. They've had a few half chances or good chances.
Well, you'd have to say they've had the chances so far, and Bits couldn't do much about that one. He just had to see whether it was going in or out or not. But yeah, I had Father's Day breakfast at home as well with the family. That was really good. And My little boy Charlie, you know, he's a great little boy, but he said to me, "Dad, can you put my shoes on?" And I said, "No, mate, I don't think they'll fit me."
Oh, you're the only one laughing at that joke.
Well, there's only you and me here.
That's a shocker, mate.
Happy Father's Day to all the dads. I'm sure a few of the dads out here would love to get a victory, taking to the second leg of the semi-final. Oxborough, Swan come together. Cowburn, Woods. Cowburn to Thompson, using some pace, pulls it up. Back on the inside, Clark. Wow, Smudge. Again, they're looking threatening, aren't they?
Yeah, good turn by Clark, but the ball just evaded him, and he's Seaton. And that has to be a... Oh, there's yellow cards everywhere here.
Oh, plenty of feeling in this one, and there's bodies coming in from everywhere. He was double swanned. Was Seaton.
He was double swanned.
Unbelievable. Just goes to show how much this final series means to these teams, and they're just a little bit frustrated. They haven't scored. Maitland, they've had a couple of really good opportunities. Seaton gets away, and it's a Swan double.
Just need to be a bit careful. It's early in the game, they're getting yellows already.
Oxborough gets on the ball, and he's probably going to be looking just to the right of the penalty spot and beyond, just beyond where the line is now. That's his spot. If he can deliver it there at head height, then the Magic troops can come in at speed and try and get something on it. Just beyond the penalty spot, on the right-hand side is where probably his mark. In fact, it's Hoole that hits that spot. And Piddington, who has scored goals before off his head smudge, he was the man on hand. I did actually think the way it was shaping up, and that was a good ploy.
And we can see Ben Homer sprinting in to the to Magic Park, trying to get up here and take the mics over us, thank God.
Yeah, that's good news for everyone.
Yes, so he'll be very shortly. But yeah, Piddington scored about four goals this year. He's done very well, especially on set pieces.
This will be Oxborough again. He'll float this one in. He's driven it in hard, and Virgili. Luke Virgili almost got a deflection to make it goalward bound and trot onto hand. Clean it up. He sends this one down looking for Clark. Piddington. He sent it back down the other direction. Now Oxborough, he's on the ball. Swan, Davies. Again, Magic applying a bit of pressure over their own. Ben Homer has just been up here quicker than probably Superman would do, and it's the fitness levels he holds personally. He's probably not going to blow a candle out, so we'll just let him get set up. Well, last time it was Hoole. Thought it was Oxborough. It is Hoole again. He floats it in similar spot.
What a great delivery by Hoole. Seaton had a chance. Seaton had a chance just to glance that in. Magic's really starting to... Maitland were on top for a good period. Now Magic's sort of just starting to...
And this time from Clark to Thompson. Thompson drives into the box, slips it, tries to cut it, and that is a penalty. That is a penalty for Thompson, who was brought down, and rightfully so, to the disgust of the Magic fans. Maitland have been awarded a penalty.
I will say James Thompson did very well there. He got past Enzor. Enzor looked like he just clipped him enough. He's gone down. That's a penalty to Maitland.
Well, we saw a couple of penalty opportunities in the early game, and this one was a lot more clear-cut.
Well, perfect timing, CT. Absolutely perfect timing.
Yep.
You were getting ready to warm the vocal cords, were you?
No, I'm particularly ecstatic that you're back, but this time,
well,
Joel Wood versus Bitts.
Yeah, Joel Wood versus Bitts, and Joel Wood, who hasn't played in a grand final in about 9 years, this would be a goal which would take them a step closer in the first leg. Wood smashes it straight down the middle, and Maitland have the lead at Magic Park. A ground which they've played so well at in the past, and it started well for them here this evening.
I'll tell you what, Bart, you didn't miss a treat there. Well called. Straight into the mic. This looks like Clarkie's corner down there. They haven't got the big sign CT, but you got Reece Thompson and all the Maitland boys. The Clarkie's corner down there. Maitland have probably been the better of the two sides in the opening 20 or so minutes. However, Magic were just getting on top, weren't they, CT? And then the penalty to Joel Wood makes it 1-0 Maitland.
You just get the feeling this one's going to open up. As we mentioned earlier, Maitland have had plenty more of the opportunities than what Magic have, and they had taken over that possession and that territory which was working so well. But then, as you say, Thompson deserved penalty after his driving effort into the box.
And unfortunately, CT, I wasn't able to reference that previously, but Magic have not beaten Maitland here since 2016. Maitland have been really good here in that second leg semi-final last year. They got the job done 1-0. Magic won 3-1 the first leg. That was enough to get them through to the grand final. But it hasn't been a happy hunting ground for Magic against Maitland. 9-1, the aggregate score in the last 4 matches between these two here. And we've got a problem here. Cal Bradbury is down, and we know he hasn't played a lot of football lately. Came back from overseas. He's only been back for about a month, and is this potentially a soft tissue injury, Smudge? You're the expert in that area.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm the expert, Bart, but I'm unsure. He's gone down. He must have hurt himself, but just some news for you, Bart. Johnny Madge did warm up with the side, but was a late withdrawal.
And that's why Hayden Seaton is out there. Is that correct?
Yeah, exactly. Were you listening in the car, were you?
No, I wasn't. I just heard you mention Hayden Seaton a moment ago, and I thought, well, there must be a late change there because he was on the bench last week for Broadmeadow.
And just quickly give us a breakdown what happened out at Western, just really quickly.
Well, in the WPL Grand Final, cracking match of football. Merriweather led 1-0, 2-1, 3-2. New Lambton fought back each time, and then Tara Andrews scored the winner in extra time.
I heard it was a bomb.
4-3. It was a bomb. Turn and spin and smash about 5 minutes after the NBN camera left. So that means that Bar TV's on the news tonight. So I'm pretty excited about that. Sorry. So, yeah. Don't mind that.
There's a change here, Bart. It's a
so
massive loss for Broadmeadow Magic.
Yeah, so Cal Bradbury gone. Cody Carroll comes onto the park. Now, Cody Carroll wasn't even on the bench last week for Broadmeadow. He played 20s. He's thrust onto the park now. Early on, heavy pitch. Do you think that played into it, Smudge? Heavy pitch. Cal Bradbury, not a lot of match fitness in recent months. Has that all culminated in an injury?
Yeah, look for Jelly. Yeah, unsure, Bart. He might have been carrying a little knock into the game. I'm not quite sure from last week, but it was a physical encounter against Charlestown last week. But Magic need to be careful here. They can't afford to concede a second one. We said this at Edgeworth just recently, didn't we, CT, just a few hours ago? Then Edgeworth went and got 4 goals.
The thing is, as we see Joel Wood, the header back, I would say it must be hard for Magic trying to get themselves up week after week after week because they've basically had knockout matches the last 2 weeks. They couldn't lose them. But they've done it so often in the past that they're just used to it. As here's Joel Wood bearing down on goal again. Nudges the pass back to Thompson on the swivel and the turn, trying to get that left boot free. Now Ryan Clark and now Thompson. No one in the middle, and Cody Carroll has to hoof it clear.
Just quickly, Bart, you probably agree with me, CT. Every time Maitland go forward in that box, they look dangerous. They're very sharp around the box.
They have, and they keep doing it at speed, which is impressive. And here's Thornton throwing this one in.
And Joel Wood is sitting there at the back post, and he just couldn't quite crane the neck and angle the body enough to plonk it in the far corner.
Great delivery by Clark, right on Joel Wood's noggin. Probably should have done better there, CT.
Yeah, would expect so. I mean, I just guess there's a lot of pressure out there at the moment. There's a lot of tension. You can see both sides are really pumped up for this, and Gallagher's got a job on his hands to keep it under control.
So Paul Bitts, goalkeeper of the year last year. Not this year, but he still had a pretty good season. 6 clean sheets, not to be sneezed at. Equals second. Thornton rolls it out wide to Ryan Clark. And now here is Oxford. Tried to measure that pass towards Vigili. Of course, it was James Vigili's goal last week against Charlestown, which gave them the 3 points, the all-important 3 points, which put them into the finals. Carroll. And now Oxborough. Trying to roll it forward to Christian Brymora. Can he stand tall? Christian Brymora in the finals. Just not been his year. But all will be forgotten for him if he can make an impact in these 2 crucial semi-finals. Hayden Seaton holding up the ball under some pressure from Thornton. Question is, boys, what's the difference between Maitland 2019 and Maitland 2018, where last year they were slow out of the blocks, Magic scored 3 in the opening 45, and basically the tie was over?
Well, they're a year more experienced, and they've got some experienced players there, but I think Nick Calburn coming in, he just settles the side, such an experienced player and quality player. He just balanced the side in that number 10 role. You've got the 2 Swan boys bouncing off him, running everywhere, but at the moment their side is very well balanced, and you probably tend to agree, CT.
Yeah, it's without a doubt. I mean, Calburn has come in very, very late in the piece, but he certainly made a great contribution. But I think what Bolt should be most happy about is that they've been getting some results. Last year, it gets that tight that often. Just those little 1%ers go against you, and then you drop 2 points, and it's a draw instead of a win. Kind of fallen a little bit better from Maitland's point of view, but good teams make their own luck. So at the end of the day, they're the premiers, and they deserve to be there. They've just been consistent. They had some games to catch up on, and they really conquered them as they went.
But as you know, once you bring an A-League player into your side, everyone else lifts. So it was a smart move by Bolts to bring Calburn in at that time.
Especially when you've got the experience of other players in the side, like Thornton and Matt Thompson, for that matter, who we'll hopefully see a bit later.
Here's the man you guys were speaking of, Calburn with the corner. Thompson nods it wide towards Calburn. Former A-League player against former A-League player with Mitch Oxborough and Calburn going up against each other. Bitts will let that one roll towards him.
But I will say, I reckon Zach Thomas at the back with Carl Thornton. Carl Thornton more played in the centre of the park last year, but now with the artillery Bolcher's got, he's playing him at centre back, which he's one of the best in the competition. And with Zach Thomas next to him, Zach Thomas has just grown leaps and bounds this year.
How good has Zach Thomas been? I've been so impressed by him this season. So impressed.
Well,
just 20.
Before,
just
Smudge.
20.
Sorry, Bart, before you were here, that the fact that he's keeping Alex Reid out of a spot is saying wonders for what Bolch thinks of him. And look at their bench. You know, they've got Reid, they've got Sean Pratt, Grant Brown, Matt Thompson.
Here's some space ahead of James Thompson, no relation to Matt.
And the reserve keeper in Alex Bozanovsky, of course, so let's not forget him.
Here's a throw going Magic's way, but just on Alex Reid, were you going to mention something?
I was going to say James Thompson. He's another player this year has come along in leaps and bounds as well. And it's amazing when you bring an A-League player into the mix, how everyone else just lifts as well, like bringing Calburn in with the last 6 games.
And CT, on the Alex Reid situation, I actually think that adds an extra dynamic to Maitland in the fact that here is Nick Calburn rolling it wide to Thompson, who cuts it across. It will be a corner. In that Alex Reid can come off the bench and look at his impact. So this year he scored 6 goals, 88th minute, 84th minute, 84th minute, 79th minute, 42nd minute, so just before half-time, and 24th minute. So
I could have told you that, Bart.
So I can speak to that. Here is a guy that is a dynamic striker in my view. He's a guy that knows where the bag is. He can finish. He's got limited time. He gets out and makes the most of. He will go as hard as he can for that period.
Liam Thornton, this is dangerous. And Gallagher's found a free kick.
Yeah, I agree with Gallagher.
And just on that point too, if you're the coach, you've got to make some choices, because if he's scoring with limited game time on that level of consistency, how do you leave him out? And where do you put him? Do you put him in the front third? But then you look at what they've got in the front third. It's a tough decision, and as a coach, Smudge, you know, it's hard to keep everyone happy, especially if you're performing and you get the results on the park.
And credit to Alex Reid for being happy to sit on the bench.
Well,
Oh,
I
no,
don't think he is, mate. I think he'd be filthy, to be honest. But he,
which is a good sign. You want players playing.
No, but
Or wanting to play.
I'm saying not spitting the dummy.
Yeah, that's right.
well, that's just a testament to his character, and he's not that. But
And
you
there's
know,
some players who would.
there
There is
definitely
some
is,
players who
and so again, that's just something about his character that says a whole lot. He'll get his chance. Don't worry about that, and he's firmly in the mix for next season. That's for sure.
So Matt Hoole. He really can get some rip and curve on these free kicks. And now Joel Wood is going to knock that one over the line. Scored an absolute bomb against Maitland. What's that, 3 years ago now? On a Wednesday night. It was with a catch-up match.
Matt Hurl, yeah, we're here for that.
Yes, we were. Vigili.
I remember that. That was his first touch, just about, wasn't it?
It was, and it was his first match back from being overseas for about 2 months, I think. Vigili.
Just quickly, boys, I think this is the first for us. All three of us are wearing glasses.
I know. I thought that.
I've
We
been
are.
in denial for about 5 years.
Glasses in force tonight at Magic Park. Oxborough. Piddington. Matt Hoole. Cody Carroll, who's just come onto the park, replacing Cal Bradbury. If you have just joined us, so Cal Bradbury has left the park with injury. John Majerowski not playing due to injury. And Edgeworth 4-1 winners against Lambton Jaffers this afternoon. Put the cleaners through the Jaffers at Jack McLaughlin Oval. Vigili hangs this one up towards Carroll.
Nice header by Davies.
Really strong backline, haven't they? An experienced backline. Even Tom Davies, he gives away the free kick, just as I give him a bit of praise.
So you've already probably missed this. The two Swans got a yellow card, both get cards for virtually the same challenge on the same player. So
It's a bit of a problem.
there's been a bit physical
And
in the
Michael
early part of the
Bolch,
game.
yeah, he's getting a talking to from the fourth official.
Well, he did, didn't he? And he certainly got swanned on by those two.
Yeah, Michael Bolch getting a little bit frustrated. He will be happy, though, that he sides up by a goal to nil. As Hoole curls this one across goal. And it's come off a Magic player last.
Now, boys, I want to talk to you in the second half about a walk that's happening for Ashley Tessidder, who had a tragic accident, and what Newcastle football is doing about that. We'll bring that one up in the second half. Luke Alexander has been a drive behind a walk that's coming up, and looking forward to having that discussion on how that's going to pan out. We see Trot launch this one down the park.
Cody Carroll wins it in the air. And Cowburn tried to hook it around the corner. Couldn't get it past Jeremy Wilson. And Liam Thornton in 97. So the all-important away goal with the Magpies.
We're talking about Edgeworth versus Lambton just earlier on, Bart, just before you got here. And it was actually a very tight affair, and it sort of the scoreline sort of blew out towards the end, didn't it, CT? Lambton were up 1-0, and it was a very cagey affair for about 60 or so minutes.
Christian Bromora showing some toe, and then Tom Davies coming across and smothering him.
And Edgeworth could have made it 5 with a penalty call as well.
If the penalty went their way, and there was plenty of people calling for it.
And Lambton have got it all to do at home next week. They're going to have to produce a scoreline like they did in the final round. If they win 3-0, they will go through, but that's a long, long shot.
One thing I noticed right into the game, Lambton did look dejected. Obviously, Edgeworth ecstatic because Lambton, after 60 minutes, they're up 1-0 and had a chance to go 2-0 up, and then Will Bauer scores a bomber. You'll have to go back and watch it back on Bar TV.
Well called, was it?
Oh, it was CT calling it, so no.
It didn't matter which one of us called it. It was.
Here's Ryan Clark. Oh, he just gave away possession cheaply there. And now Brian Mora. I just want to ask you to Christian Brian Mora. He's been behind Vigili, Majerowski and Carl Bradbury. Now he has to step up with two of those men injured. Do you think he is someone that may have found it tough in behind those very experienced and accomplished strikers, and now the fact that they're not there, he might step up.
I think it's a great opportunity for Broadmeadow right now to step up. However, the problem with the other three, Majerowski, Bradbury and Virgili, like they're definite goal scorers, and Madge is a different type of play. He holds the ball up, he comes in, brings people in play. I'll come back to it.
Big loss in a big match as well, as Hoole towards the back post where Luke Virgili was stationed.
One thing I've noticed, you probably agree here because you missed half the game, Bart, is that James Virgili's been quite quiet. They've kept James very quiet. They're sitting deep.
Here's Piddington rising. Swan sweeps it clear. Jeremy Wilson composed with the header to another young man, Cody Carroll, trying to hold off Cowburn. Now Wilson, Brymora, and Davies has given away the foul. Plenty of feeling in it.
Yeah, he's definitely feeling in this game, Bart. Looked a fair challenge to me at first glance. Did you, C2?
I think in context of the game, it's probably fair enough. Everyone's going at it, so as a referee, you either tone it right down or just let it keep moving along. Big job on his hands, Gallagher.
Yeah, I was just looking down at the Magic bench, and Carl Bradbury's got ice around the right ankle. So hopefully, for Magic's sake, it's only a short-term problem, but it's only a week until their next match, the second leg, next Sunday afternoon at Maitland, as James Thompson strides forward and Luke Virgili just ghosted in front of him and won back possession as easy as you'd like. Carroll to Ryan Ensor. Back goes Davies. Yeah, speaking of that back line, Tom Davies, just 22 years of age, but you'd call him an experienced player. He was with Hamilton from 2014 to 18, and then Maitland this season. Thornton. Now Wood, who scored the goal from the penalty spot for Maitland. Clark. Darting away from Virgili, uses the outside of his boot to roll it into the path of Liam Thornton, who had to really get on his bike there. And in the end, maybe a little fatigued because he couldn't keep the cross inside the line.
Smudge, I'm guessing you might have had some of the chili chipolatas from the
Yeah, I did.
Magic canteen.
I actually did. I was starving. Can
I
you
just
feel
got
it?
I got a fair piece of it. Yeah, probably just upset the old Father's Day dinner when I get home. Maybe had an entree, we'll call it that I've just had. They all right?
Well,
Yeah, beautiful. Had a little bit of chili on it, so that's why it's a bit burning on the old tongue.
It's rank.
Here's Brymora. Cheapers. I'm just saying, lucky I'm here. Keep you two in line, or we'd be talking about food all night. Oh, it's been a big afternoon as we see Maitland with the throw. So just remembering those last four matches here. So 1-1 earlier in the season. Last year, Maitland winning 1-0 in the semi-finals. And then 0-0 here at Magic Park in the regular season. And in the previous year, 7-0. So last four matches, 2 draws and 2 wins for Maitland at Magic Park. They've stepped up here at the home of Broadmeadow. And Broadmeadow have won 8 consecutive here at home and unbeaten in 10 here. So stats that tell different stories. Hayden Seaton trying to find Oxborough, and it almost just bobbled into his path, and he's frustrated Mitch Oxborough. Maybe at himself a little because he just stopped momentarily.
Yeah, I don't think that was directed at anyone else. He just, as you say, Bart, he just paused and then he gone on with it. But definitely not one of those plays that you see it coming your way for the second time.
Just looking at the Magic side now, Oxborough started in that number 6, number 8 role a bit deeper. I like him number 10. He scored quite a few goals this year. He can distribute. Where number 6, I think sometimes...
Well, it's found its way all the way through to Joel Wood there. Now Ensor versus Wood.
Yeah, sometimes when Oxborough plays number 6, he doesn't get on the ball as much. When number 10, he can float a little bit. So, and that's where I like him playing there.
And as you said, Smudge, a lot of goals this year for him. 9 for the season. He's keen on double figures. And he's going after it right there. Maybe looking to find James Virgili, but it wasn't a bad effort going for goal either because Matt Trott was a little way out. Now Liam Thornton with pastures aplenty down that left edge. No pressure coming, and then Hayden Seaton arrives.
Yeah, I think Liam Thornton should have stayed wide then. He sort of, didn't he, close the space, CT, and ended up being very cramped, and there was no one to pass the ball to. If he stayed wide, he would force a Magic defender to come out, open up space.
Hoole taking his time. And it's good delivery because Brymora was able to win it in the air. Ensor finding Cody Carroll. Substitute for Broadmeadow after the injury to Cal Bradbury. And now Ensor, the in and the away on Thompson. And now it falls Brymora with the snapshot. Falls for Christian Brymora for a second time. And he strikes it straight at Matt Trott.
Well, that's a howler from Liam Thornton. He really made an error at the top end, top shelf error. Magic had a couple of good cracks at that, and he held his head in relief after all that was concluded.
And so fortunate, Maitland, at half-time, because if that's 1-1, it's a whole different ball game at half-time. And it was Maitland who started the stronger. Magic at the back end really created some chances of their own. Joel Wood with the goal from the penalty spot. That's the difference between the two sides after the first quarter of this two-legged tie. Half-time at Magic Park. Broadmeadow Magic 0, Maitland FC 1. Just your quick thoughts on that first half, and we'll have a breather.
Yeah, look, Magic, look, the defensive looks good. They've been okay in attack. They've had some opportunities, but it's been Maitland that have been the ones that have created more opportunities, looked more threatening, been very, very sharp in the top third and attacking at pace. I like the way they go about their business, other than what's happened with Liam Thornton down that back left-hand corner there from their end. They've been very solid. So deservingly 1-0 up at the moment, I think. Smash?
Yeah, and I agree. And I like the way how Maitland, they're sitting a little bit deep, so there's no space for Vigili and Bradbury, or he's off now, to get him behind. Magic need to try and get James Vigili in the game a little bit more. But you know what? They'll get chances, and it'll be a very interesting second half.
All right, we'll take a quick break. We'll be back in 10. It's the visitors, Maitland, leading by a goal to 0 at Magic Park. Welcome back to Magic Park in Broadmeadow. Second half of this semi-final underway. The first leg. And it is Joel Wood's penalty, which is the difference between the two sides at the moment. Scored that halfway through the first half. It was Ryan Ensor that gave away the foul. And I was just watching it back on replay. It did look a little bit soft for mine.
Did he clip him?
Well, live, I thought it was a penalty, but then watching it back on replay, I thought, maybe it was a little bit soft.
Okay.
So
I'll have to see. I was talking to a few of the people in the crowd, and they thought it was a pen. But from first, like initial thought, it looked like a pen. But like I said, I haven't seen the replay, so.
as Seaton just clipped in behind, and Christian Brymora, he's got a big role to play in this second half because Magic can't afford to take a deficit into the second leg. And it's a deficit which includes an away goal. I want to get back on level pegging, and level pegging's all right. I'd prefer to take maybe a 1 or 2 goal advantage, but really it comes down to next week here. In Maitland, they just don't want to lose it in the first leg. As we say, you probably can't win it in the first leg, but you can lose it.
That's what we're saying out at Edgeworth, and
Lambton probably lost it there, didn't they?
oh, you know, they beat Edgeworth 3-0 last game of the season, so you never know.
Here's Oxborough. Linking up with Brymora, but Cowburn read it well.
Maitland's back four very deep here, Bart.
This is the issue for Maitland, is that the scoreline being 1-0. What do they do? Second half, obviously you're happy with the lead, but you're not even at half time in this tie.
Yeah, exactly.
And subconsciously, you can start to just drift back when you've got the advantage, but it's only a goal. I'd really love a couple to take home back to Cook Square Park with them.
Yeah, exactly. But I think they set up this way in the first half, a little bit deep, and they'll transition them really quick, and they caught Magic a few times.
Here's Brymora. Whipped in by Oxborough. Massively overhit. Just couldn't find his range on that occasion. So those scores today in matches around northern New South Wales in the Premier competitions, in the WPL Grand Final, it was New Lambton winning 4-3 against Merriweather and 4-1 in the other semi-final, Edgeworth against Lambton, with a big result there. So here 1-0 and Magic with a free kick.
And just in the under-20s out at Edgeworth, the Newcastle Jets, I think it was 9, Lake Macquarie 1.
Wow.
The scoreboard overheated. That many numbers were going up, Bart.
Oxborough dipping, and whereabouts was that? At Edgeworth?
At Edgeworth.
The
just prior to
scoreboard was
main.
overheating.
Well, I think so. The amount of times they had to put a number up, and in the end it wasn't working for first grade. So some people saying it was 8-1, but I think it was 9-1.
Yep. You're not coming back from that.
And they were 9 away goals for the Jets.
So a neat 1-2 play between Hoole and Carroll. Oxborough. Ball has crossed the line. Assistant referee on the far side with the flag up.
Very interesting. I just noticed there, Joel Wood. Bolch has all his players back for set pieces. He doesn't have. There's no player to release if there is, or like, yeah, if they do win the ball, there's no player to actually break and release nice and quick. Have all players back. Normally leave one player up on either side so you can.
Here's Thompson. Try to nudge it around Ensor, but
Yeah, sometimes you need an outlet, someone up front, just a little bit wide, but he has all his players back. Joel Wood was back marking Josh Pennington, unless that's his key role.
so the premiers against the champions in this semi-final tie. Maitland winning the premiership. Magic last year's grand final winners, and didn't they do it in style? 3-0 against Edgeworth. And at the moment it's Edgeworth with 1 foot in another grand final, a 5th straight grand final it would be for them. A They've lost the last two as Thornton tried to go around Vigili. And they'll be desperate, Edgeworth, to win the grand final because they missed out on the premiership. And that will be here at Magic Park. And if Maitland can get the result here, it means 5 straight matches. Well, they are undefeated here at Magic Park. And the grand finals here, they'll come in with a lot of confidence knowing that they've done well at this ground. Piddington up the line to Vigili. Speaking of good records, Edgeworth have a really good record here as well. As James Vigili arguing that should have been a corner. Stephen Laurie, the assistant referee, saying no, it's a goal kick for Matt Trott.
I think Edgeworth's record here at Magic Park in recent times has been quite good as well from memory. So
That's what I said.
Oh, did you? I thought you said Maitland.
Yeah, and I said Edgeworth after.
Oh, did you? Sorry, I was daydreaming. It's been a big day, Bart.
I can understand. I can understand that. We're running on a bit of empty at the moment, and CT is.
Oh, here comes CT.
He's on his way back as Matt Trott up over halfway to Thompson, trying to thread through Joel Wood. Ensor nods it back to Paul Bitts in goals.
Oh, welcome back, CT.
Thanks, Mudge.
What would you be doing if you were the Broadmeadow Magic coach tonight, Smudge? You're down 1-0 at half-time. What attitude do you take into the second half? Obviously, you don't want to open up too much because you don't want to concede a second.
You can't afford to concede a second goal. I'd probably just keep things how they're going at the moment. They'll get opportunities.
As Hayden Seaton tries an extraordinary attempt there.
Obviously, they've got some players out as well. Like Lambton and Edgeworth today, both have multiple players out. Maitland at full strength. You just need to stay in the game. Like, they will get opportunities. When they get the opportunities, they need to take them. That's the most important thing. However, they need to be tight at the back. They can't.
Oh, Carroll copping one from behind from Joel Wood.
They can't afford to concede a second.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's what we were saying about Edgeworth. When Lambton were up 1-0, then all of a sudden, Edgeworth ran away with it. It was actually 8-1 to the Jets.
And just I want to touch on the New FM decider as Tom Davies gets up for the header.
Oh.
And now Piddington. He'll hang up at the back post for Cody Carroll to nod it back. And Matt Trott, well, as he almost stood in his goal, Stephen Laurie says no. It was perilously close, though. And Trott just launches it long.
Oh.
Piddington with the bring down. And now Ryan Clark showing his pace. Does he have the ability to find the target? He does have the patience to pick the pass. And now Hoole back to Paul Bitts. So New FM Grand Final. Bell Swans are there. South Cardiff against Cooks Hill is postponed till Tuesday.
Is that the second leg? Are they...
Yes, the grand final. Yes, that is the second leg. Because the New FM Grand Final is on next weekend. Here's Oxborough and Hoole tracking after it. Cuts it across goal and Zach Thomas just directed the header away. Former Magic player Zach Thomas back here in 2014, his younger days. Would have been about 15 then. And here's some speed shown by Hayden Seaton. That's got to be a penalty, surely. No penalty. And here's push and shove, Seaton and Davies. And Ruben Zadkovich is calling the linesman. Jared Baker is going to head out there. Now, boys, did you think that was a penalty?
I'll tell you what, I'd like to see that again. Tom Davies. Seaton got past him with his pace. It looked like he gave him a little nudge in the back.
Well, I've never been so sure in my life that there was going to be a penalty, and it hasn't been blown. And Hayden Seaton is being brought off. Was that decision always coming from Ruben Zadkovich, or was that because of he just realised Seaton was getting a little hot under the collar and he didn't want him sent off?
No, I think that was always pre-planned. He was quite lively today, wasn't he, CT?
Yeah, he certainly has got plenty of pace to burn. And Smudge, you sounded very non-committal about the penalty, but you were all over it.
CT, where were you?
Normally I have an opinion, but I was literally after my late start, I was just wiping my glasses, so I didn't miss it.
And now Wilson clipped by Swan. And to be honest, that was a bit softer than what I thought the penalty was.
Yeah, I agree. I'd like to see a penalty again. To me, it looked like Tom Davies, I think it was, just nudged Seaton in the back.
Well, I'll get it up on the old YouTube stream.
Yeah, some people might...
If you do want to have a look back at it, you can scroll back if you're watching on YouTube.
Well, boys, while you're finding that, I've just had a text message from the Jets under-20s dads, Willow Greaves, who's calling it a pen. I'm interested to get your thoughts.
Yeah, well, as I said, I that's the first time ever when I've been commentating that I've literally said, that is a penalty.
Yeah, it looked like a shoulder charge just in the back of his shoulder.
Well, it's all by the by now, and it's Hoole and Oxborough standing over it. And it's Matt Hoole to bend it off the head of Ryan Clark. Falls for Baker. What an introduction it would be if he scored. Former Lambton Jaffers man. Now Oxborough angling the ball inside. And now Hoole up and over the top towards Baker. Maitland just sitting deeper and deeper, and Piddington trying to take advantage. Now Vigili clips it up. The punch from Trott. Oxborough's gone down in the box. It's all happening in the Maitland 18-yard box, and now there's a free kick. Ryan Gallagher has got to keep control here because this is threatening to boil over, and it's only just over the 50-minute mark. He has got to keep control here because this could get out of hand.
Yeah, it was a little bit feisty in the first half just before you got here, Bart. He was throwing a few yellows out for legitimate reasons. But, yeah, going back on the pen, yeah, from this angle, it looked like a shoulder charge in the back of his shoulder. I haven't seen the did you see the replay?
I didn't know, no. When we had the word from people watching that it was a penalty, I gave up. So Matt Trott. And yes, people will call that first half penalty soft, and I agree. And I agree that if that's the standard that Ryan Gallagher's refereeing by tonight, then that has to be a penalty. Simple as that. As we see Swan, and here is a little bit of off-the-ball stuff, Piddington and Wood. Now, this is getting a little bit tetchy. Yeah, this has got bad news written all over it. As here's a shot from Cowburn. Yeah. And here, well, this is just not good at all because there's players blowing up at the referee. There's players coming from all angles saying, he did this to me. And this is just going to only go one way, and that's downhill fast.
Yeah, I think Josh Piddington a little bit lucky there.
And yes, Ryan Gallagher has to keep control, but the players do as well. It's their responsibility as well as the official. There's Cowburn, and now high boot from Vigili, but I don't really think it was around the head of Thompson at that point in time, but they're playing on quickly here, Maitland, as Swan rushes forward.
Tell you what, Magic started very well in the second half, haven't they, CT? They're right on the front foot.
Well, they had to. This side here in the first half, just down in the club room there, it was all negative. Not playing well enough, not doing anything that's going to threaten. Maitland look all the goods, but you're right, Smudge. They've come out with a different purpose, and Carroll, it's his turn.
Plenty of space ahead of Cody Carroll. Finds Oxborough. Now Brian Morey's offside. It's just not his season, and I'm hoping he can turn it around tonight. He's still got time because he's such a bright young player, but just caught offside there. He had that chance in the first half, the snapshot, which on another day might find its way in.
Yeah, I'll be interested in what Zakovic said at half-time. Whatever he said, it's working, isn't it, CT? Magic definitely on the front foot. You just look at it, Maitland, they're just dropping deeper and deeper and deeper, allowing Magic's midfield to sort of dominate a bit.
Look, structurally, anything behind, anything regarding your organisation, your training, all that sort of stuff, you've got a grand final coming up if you want to play in it. If that's not enough motivation alone to come out firing and come out at a different level with a different gear in play, then certainly. But Magic, you know what? What they need to do is probably continue on with being a little bit quicker about their play. I thought they've been a little bit slow. Some of the pockets, bit too predictable. Now they've changed the pace. Speed's quicker, and again, top third, looking to create some opportunity.
Baker to Hoole. Vigili making the run. And he cuts it across. It was spearing towards that near post. Try to wait to it. But it's been an issue for Broadmeadow Magic. They've won back-to-back matches this season on 5 occasions. They've never won 3 straight. So it's been a problem for them putting back-to-back-to-back performances together. And here is Nick Cowburn with some space. And he picks the shot. And Paul Bitts picked it out of the corner.
Great save.
And now Ryan Clark will catch up with the ball. Distributes back to Liam Thornton, who hoofs it in. Up goes Cowburn. Here is Wood.
Offside.
2-0 to Maitland or not. Joel Wood's filthy. The goal won't stand. 1-0 it remains. And now Paul Bitts is unimpressed. Players frustrated all over the pitch.
Yeah, the linesman on the far side had his flag up straight away. So hard to tell from this angle because we're up the other end of the park, but the linesman had his flag up virtually straight away. Better play by Maitland.
Yeah, just about to say, regardless of that, Maitland's pouring on the pressure and they certainly created some opportunities. Joel Wood, after great build-up, everything else that had happened, certainly we're in position to score again. And look, this is really opened back up. 2-0 there for Maitland would have made a whole heap of difference. Right now, it's still 1-0. Magic been dominant since they've come out.
Well,
Game
just on the last 12 matches between these two sides, whoever scored first hasn't lost. The team that scored first has won 9, 3 draws. So Maitland well positioned here. Here's a free kick, and here we go. Well, this is just not good at all. Because players, you can hear it through the effects, Mike. It is a constant barrage that they are giving to Ryan Gallagher. And in your opinion, boys, do you think it's the players' responsibility to keep themselves calm, but also the referee to keep the players in check?
Yeah, totally agree, Bart. This is where the experienced players need to come in just to get everyone to settle down.
I'll ask you after this free kick, because I'm interested from a coaching perspective.
Too far, CT?
Here's Cowburn. He hit it well and just wide. He had the power, not the direction. As a coach, you're seeing a match sort of get into this kind of territory where both sides are blowing up at the referee, threatening to boil over. What are you saying to your side? Just saying, don't worry about the referee. Don't say anything more. Just focus on yourselves. What are you saying?
One thing is unsettling Maitland because they're in their face. Maitland were on top 1-0 up, but Magic's been in their face. They're starting to unsettle Maitland, which is sort of working in a way. So,
well, here's the other.
Well, it opens up here for Brian Mora. He has the Gilly, takes it on himself and was straight at Matt Trott.
The thing is, the Swan boys are really fired up, and we've got some cards there. I'm not sure if it's one of them or both of them. Magic taking it right into their face here. Why not? Because if they do, they're likely one of them could brain snap. What are you going to do as a coach? Well, you can only give your best guidance from the sideline to calm things, but in the heat of the moment, Magic are really taking it out there and putting some pressure on, getting in their face, and all of a sudden, Maitland don't like it. So I'd put my player's hat on, from what I remember. I'd go at him. I'd just let him at it.
Fire it right out.
I think it's definitely unsettled Maitland a little bit. Magic's sort of been in their face a bit more.
Yeah, well, why not? And Magic are behind.
Oxborough calls it in. And it is hard as a coach because you don't get the team together in a group anymore. You basically got to send the message out to a couple of players and get them to pass that on to the rest of the team.
But that's how Ruben used to play as well. He's very aggressive. He was in your face.
You can't see both coaches, but they're both, in fact, Bolger's out of his technical area. Ruben is standing up and on the edge of it. They're right in the game.
Oh, Paul Bitts is rushing out. And how often do we see it that the players take on the attributes of the coach?
Offside.
The passion, the energy of what the coach brings.
Oh, Zakovic, he's got passion, I tell you.
Well, you've only got to look at Diego Simeone at Atletico Madrid. What he brings and what the players bring for him.
Look at Klopp.
Yep. So aerial ping pong for the moment. Now Oxborough. It did open up there for a moment for Magic, and now Cody Carroll couldn't nudge it past Carl Thornton. And if they can unsettle Maitland, well, you'll know what will be happening next week, as here's Brian Mora straight into Thornton. Just look at this energy from Broadmeadow.
Yeah, it's good. I like it.
So where was it in the opening 45? That's the question. Were they a little flat after what they have gone through the last 2 weeks, having to win matches? Is that potentially?
May have. Also losing Majorowski and Bradbury, or Majorowski before the game, Bradbury during, after 15, 20 minutes.
As we see Matt Thompson come on, but you've just got to put the
Andrew
scenario.
Swan.
Is that if they don't get the result, they don't play in the grand final, and there's been so much expectation for Broadmeadow, and they want to be there.
Just on that smart move by Bolch, bringing Matt Thompson in. He'll come in, settle it, get on the ball. Andrew Swan's probably just getting a bit feisty out there.
And he gave the crowd a wave as well. And he would be public enemy close to number one, him and his brother, because they played for Olympic in the past, and they've had some big duels at this ground.
But don't worry, as you know, Smudge, I know Matt Thompson well. He will get in. He'll get it.
Oh, yeah.
He'll get into it as much as anyone else. And the difference is he hasn't got a yellow card.
So James Thompson striding forward. Big game for him to stand tall as he tries to roll it through to Wood, and Paul Bitts speeding out of his 6-yard box.
I think if James Thompson had his time again.
And now Vigili, but Matt Trott should come out and just launch it.
Yeah, he had Ryan Clark going on the other side. He played the ball in for Joel Wood, which was very acute and tight. Ryan Clark was going on the outside.
It's a very difficult pass to hit, isn't it?
Yes.
That kind of pass where you are hitting it without an angle.
Nice touch.
As here's the ball threaded through almost for Oxborough. And Jared Baker, look at the energy there. Into Matt Thompson, who went bouncing to the ground.
Silly challenge by Baker. I know he got Matt Thompson, but Magic in control there. Ball was coming out here from Matt Hurl.
Well, Michael Bolch, you don't see him too often out of his technical area.
He's almost on the park. We can't see him from here, but you can't, but he's...
So often he sits down, doesn't he?
He wants the double. He wants the minor and major.
So free kick this time going Magic's way, and Josh Piddington applauds.
Hey, these two are good mates, Josh Pennington and Joel Wood. They're having a tremendous duel here today, or tonight.
Ryan Enzor. Now Carroll. And Vigili onto Jeremy Wilson. Darted away from Cowburn. And now Hoole. In front of his coach, Oxborough. Now Wilson. Vigili.
Oh!
He's skating close to the win there on a couple of occasions, and he's given the ball away to Cowburn. And they've got a 2-on-1 here if Thompson has the composure to find Wood, and he does. But Luke Vigili scrambling back, as he so often does, to save Broadmeadow.
First time from Wood there. Just pick your spot and place it. Probably no need to take a touch. This game's tight.
Oh.
Brymore just holding off Thornton.
Back on Luke Vigili. That was tremendous by Luke Vigili. Again.
And now Carroll tried to find some space where there wasn't any, and earns himself a free kick.
Smart by Carroll. He just knocked it round, ran straight into Clark. Gets the foul.
They just closed off the space, so really well won by Cody Carroll. 3 goals this year for him. And he curls it towards Brian Mora. And now this didn't look good for... It was Tom Davies. Maybe a head clash with Brian Mora. He is struggling. Lamb Thornton. Up the line. Now Hoole. Back he goes to Paul Bitts. Seems to be all right now, Tom Davies. But it's always an issue, the concussion. An issue which football really hasn't dealt with very well. Oxborough. Now Piddington. Returns it to Oxborough, and then Matt Swan picks off the pass. Oxborough returned, but he got the ball wide to James Thompson. And he hooks it across, and this looks a little too far in front, or was it? It was in the end, because Cowburn just couldn't angle the pass back with the byline approaching.
Hey, CT, we said at the start of the game it's going to be tight, then it's going to open up. That's what's happening.
It's exactly what's happened. Both teams are keen. Like Maitland just can't sit and defend. Magic need to get a goal.
Well, the best attack in the NPL Northern New South Wales regular season. Broadmeadow Magic, 46 goals. Brian Mora ran into a cul-de-sac and they had the 5th best defence. So the worst defence of the top 4, Broadmeadow. That won't matter down this end of the ground. Carroll. Hoole. He just picks the cross to Brian Mora. A little deflection. It will be a corner kick. Maitland, in terms of their attack and defence, 2nd best attack with 44, 4th best defence with 27. So 2 sides whose defences haven't been the most watertight this year. Edgeworth, Lambton and Charlestown all ahead of them in that department. Here's the corner. It sat in behind everyone, really.
Just looking at Magic, they're starting to throw numbers forward. It's still a long way to go in this game. They just need to be careful. They don't want to concede a second. Because there's been a few times when it's been 3v3, Maitland going forward, hasn't it, CT? And Magic just need to be a little careful. They can't afford to concede a second.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And just while we're having a substitution, we'll come back to that. We mentioned Ashley Tessidder in the first half. There's a walk going on, moving mountains. A walk is happening for Ashley Tessidder on the 18th of October, likely to be 3 p.m. Now, why? He's a former footballer who was seriously injured at the beginning of the year, which has left him in a wheelchair. We get behind him massively, and that's what our footballing community does. 5 of his friends were walking from McDonald Jones Stadium to Central Coast Mariners Stadium, and they roughly walking 90 kilometres and hope to finish it in 24 hours, no sleep, and in time to lead the march with Ash and the Newcastle Jets supporters into the stadium for the Newcastle Jets' first game of the season, the F3 Derby. Now, that'll be led in by Ashley Tessidder. Everyone will be in behind him. They'd like everyone to invite everyone to walk for the first 10 kilometres with us. I'll be there, including Ash, which will also be led by Jet CEO Lauren McKenna and 106.9 Simon Baggs. Now, just to finish off real quick, all you have to do is show up at the stadium, a gold coin donation collected on the day, and you can donate and go to his FundMe page, which is Ashley Tessidder GoFundMe. Now, Luke Alexander is the brain trust behind this. Guys, get behind it. And not only that, one more, get some sponsorship and bring it to the day. Bring your coins, weigh yourself down with as many coins as notes as whatever you can, and let's put it in the buckets and make it happen for Ash, because as a Novocastrian, champion bloke, Smudge, you've coached him, I've coached him. We love Ash and everything he's done, and his strength and courage has been phenomenal.
Yeah, I second that. He's a tremendous bloke. Unfortunate injury, but he'll bounce back.
Yeah, well said, CT. Well said. Luke Vigili. Now to Oxborough.
Just to finish off on that, guys, there'll be more on that to come as we get closer to the event. Same night as the Northern Federation presentation night, so we're looking forward to that being something special for Ash and the F3 Derby going down to the Central Coast Mariners. And again, if you're a part of the football community and you're anything to do with any generosity and you can do with a walk, get some money, get some people, and let's make it something pretty big. I'm even going to drag you along, Smudge.
So Mitch Oxborough curling and dipping onto the head of Swan. That's Matt Swan there at the near post. And Oxborough cross goal. There is Christian Brymora. A big goal for Brymora in the semi-finals. It hasn't been his season, but he's trying to finish it on a high. And that's a huge goal for the home side. 1-1.
Do you know what? You could see it coming. They're starting to threaten, weren't they, CT? Madge will push them forward. They'll push the numbers forward. But what I like about that, Oxborough's delivery was spot on. Brymora, elite. He hung there. Beautiful finish.
Like some others headers that we've seen today, this one was directed with purpose, direction. He knew how important it is, and you can only listen to the reaction of the crowd. They've gone nuts downstairs, the Magic faithful, and now 1-1.
Yeah, they've been good in the second half, Magic.
And look out for him now, because he'll be full of confidence, and it's something he hasn't had this season. And when he has it, we've seen what he can do.
Oh,
Here's Clark. And now Sean Pratt, who's just gone out there. Thornton whips it across. Cowburn. Immediately, Maitland restore the lead. It took a couple of minutes, if that. And it's Nick Cowburn, the former Jet, who fires Maitland back into the lead.
Well, we said this one was going to open up, Smudge. And talk about opened up. Wow. Brymora, now Cowburn, instant response. Magic, what they've got to do now is they've got to keep their heads in that same level of intensity in play and come at them again. That's what's got to happen here at Magic Park.
but you asked me before, what's the difference with Maitland? I said Nick Cowburn is a massive difference in this side. What a strike, what a finish. He composed himself. 2-1 to Maitland.
And now all of a sudden the physicality is coming from Maitland. Now the question is here, does he need to go into the book? Does Ryan Gallagher need to go into the book? Now last week, Smudge, we were discussing about soft yellow cards. And should he be giving out more yellow cards? That's the question. It's the fine line, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is why refereeing is such a tough job. Oxborough. There's the header away from Thornton.
Do you know what? Both sides look very dangerous going forward here. Don't they, CT? Both defences are just a little bit shaky.
Here's Brian Moore holding it up. Piddington! 2-2, and Josh Piddington's incredible goal-scoring season continues. Number 5 for the Magic captain in his final season. And if that is to be his final goal, well, that's an absolute cracker to go out with.
He always delivers, doesn't he, CT? Josh Pennington, over 340 games for the club. He's been pushing forward the last 10 or so minutes, desperate for a goal, and there he goes. I just said before, both defences are looking a bit shaky. It's all out attacking this game, which you don't normally see in the first league, do you?
No, not necessarily. And the thing that Magic needed to do was come back out and attack, not drop the shoulders. They've done exactly that and delivered by the captain in amazing fashion there, and the crowd now have got their voice.
And the Magic fans are going off below us. Clark whips it up. Joel Wood. What a cracking first leg. Who said first legs were boring?
Oh, the game at Edgeworth was a cracking game as well, but like I said, both defences have looked quite shaky. Both sides going forward look like they're going to score. I think there's going to be more goals in this. How long to go, Bart?
I'll double check for you. Not
Well,
long.
while you're doing that, Alex Reid won't be far from coming on, because this is where his experience and his ability to deliver matters. And I won't, in fact, I'm seeing some movement down on the bench. So, look, let's see Alex Reid come in. We spoke about his
Final
his
15
injection.
minutes. Ryan Clark went up in the air. We're into the final 15. What a last 10 minutes we have got. 3 goals. Brian Mora started it all off, then Cowburn, and then Josh Piddington with goal number 5 this season. In his final season, he is just plonking them in from all parts.
The advantage for Maitland, they've got 2 away goals. However, if Magic can get a result here,
Huge.
huge, absolutely huge. So with Maitland, if they get a result as well.
The big game side. Ruben Zadkovic said during the week his side knows how to get up for the big matches, and they've shown that in spades. Piddington, they have big game players, and now James Vigili. Here's Hoole, and Alex Reid isn't far away. He's just on his way to the sideline. And now Zach Thomas, well, this might even be on target. Paul Bitts has let it bounce, and Joel Wood was rushing through there. So you got a little bit nervous.
Yeah, I did get nervous.
Do you get nervous, Smudge, because you're going for Magic?
No, not at all. I'm a Maitland boy, as you know, but I do love me Magic.
Here's Clark. Well, he's ridden a couple of challenges. Then Luke Vigili goes down. Now, Ryan Gallagher, is he going to give him a card? Now, here's the question, Smudge. He gives out a yellow card there.
That was smart play by Gallagher, I think.
Not to give a yellow card. You're saying that's the right decision?
Now, I'm pretty sure, is it 2 yellow cards? You need 3 yellow cards to miss the grand final, don't you? Meaning there's only 2 legs, so if you get a yellow card in either game, you can't miss the grand final. Yeah, unless it's a really bad challenge.
But my question is, refs get criticised for giving out soft yellow cards, but
Yeah.
then if they don't give out yellow cards and it gets into a bit of a push and shove, they get criticised for not giving enough.
Yeah,
So I'm just talking about the balance there in terms of...
Yeah, no, good point. But just really quickly, Alex Reid's come on for Ryan Clark. You know what? I probably would have kept Ryan Clark on there. He's looking dangerous, very dangerous. However, Alex Reid is a quality player, CT.
He isn't. Clark was stretching.
Nick Cowburn with the free kick.
Oh, was he?
And now Oxborough looking to release Virgili. Danger here for Maitland. Zach Thomas aware of that. And now Piddington tracking back after scoring the equaliser.
I think even Magic, if they come away 2-2 here, oh, far linesman's got the flag up. Obviously the ball didn't go out, or bits, the ball wasn't in the 6-yard box. Maitland's got players, Magic's got players to come back in next week too. Justin Broadley, John Griffiths.
Here's Oxborough. Bring it down.
Oh, great ball.
And here in on goal is almost Joel Wood. Now the scoreboard actually says 3-2. I'm just checking online. It is 2-2. It is definitely 2-2 here at Magic Park. 2-2 between Maitland and Magic. And Thornton tries to go for goal. I think maybe our scoreboard attendant could have got a little bit confused with all the goals.
The scoreboard at Magic's actually 1-0 to the Magpies.
Yeah,
so,
they're a little bit
I'm
behind.
Confused. CT, you'd be confused.
It is 2-2. It is 2-2. We'll try and get that rectified. Here's Virgili. And now Hoole towards Wilson. And Swan just got there in the nick of time. And here's Alex Reid. On to Matt Swan. Cody Carroll tried to give Reid a little bit of a shirt tug. And then Swan tried to find his way through a maze of bodies.
I said again, CT, both defences look shaky. Or, in saying that, both attacks look very good going forward. They both look dangerous going forward. It's like something's going to happen every time.
Yeah, well, I like the latter. Both attacks are having a go, and I love teams having a go.
As Jared Baker. Here is Brian Mora. As always rising. Gee, he's got some power. That almost sailed out of Magic Park. Crucial period in this tie coming up. Fatiguing bodies, heavy pitch. 2-2.
2-2, you'd think Maitland be like, if it ends 2-2, you'd think Maitland be very pleased coming away with 2 away goals, but I don't know. Magic at Maitland, going to be a very, very dangerous game. Magic will need to win, I suspect.
Trot. Looking long. And now Brian Mora. Wilson. Here's Carroll.
Good turn. Oh.
Here's Thornton. Curling one up the line. And Joel Wood is on the end of it. But the cavalry is arriving for Broadmeadow in the form of Piddington. Well, they got in each other's way. And Joel Wood's in on goal. That almost became a disaster for the home side.
Yeah, Piddington got too close to, was it Matt Hoole? I just checked him. Or Cody Carroll, I think it was.
It was Cody Carroll.
Yeah, sorry.
And you can see the Maitland boys just down behind the Magic end of the ground. Reid. Now a spin from Matt Hoole to win back possession for Broadmeadow. Virgili beats a couple. Speeds away. Infield away from Swan. Look at the speed of Virgili with the ball compared to Swan without it. It was just incredible. And now Ryan Ensor. And what a run this is. We saw what he could do last week against Charlestown as he cramped up. Looks to be all right. Maybe just trodden on. Wilson. Now Hoole. Oxborough with the 1-2. Well, Hoole went via Sean Pratt. And now Hoole goes down in the box. A little bit of a collision with Carl Thornton. But it's a Magic throw. And the Magic fans are up and about once again. Great to have your company wherever you're watching on Bar TV Sports. Semi-final number 1 between Broadmeadow Magic and Maitland. It's 1v4. The premiers against the champions of last season. The defending champions, who have fought back from a goal down on 2 occasions.
Oh.
A team who hasn't lost here at home in 10 matches. Broadmeadow, although they haven't beaten Maitland here since 2016. Up goes Thornton.
CT, what do you think of the high numbers? Calburn 99, Liam Thornton 97.
Not a whole lot.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it's all about, to be honest. Used to be 1 to 11, subs of 12, 13, 14, and that was about it.
I'm pretty sure Dario Vidicic in an international wore 101.
Yeah,
against the Netherlands, maybe? I think I remember that. Oxford with the back heel to Broadmeadow.
Oh.
And now Swan fired the pass to Pratt. Here's a tackle. Well, there's a tackle in the middle of the park. Wilson and Pratt. Gallagher trying to extinguish that.
Tell you what, I can't wait till the second leg. There's going to be some feeling.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's done well to not let it get out of hand, because I thought there were problems brewing about 50 minutes into this one.
Yeah, Gallagher's, he's got it settled a bit now, so which is really good.
Trot knocking it long. Joel Wood, who scored from the penalty spot to make it 1-0 in the first half. Be a sense there'll be a little bit of fire and brimstone in the last 5 minutes or so. Jared Baker now showing the clean pair of heels down the left. Little step over. Vigili. Neat touch. Well blocked by Zach Thomas.
What a classy touch by Vigili. Took it away from his body. Zach Thomas done tremendous well to close that.
And the grandstand is shaking here at Magic Park. The fans are really getting into it down below. So here's the corner for Matt Hoole. Got plenty of rip on that one. Wood's header fell towards Matt Thompson, and now Oxborough from distance just went low and hard. Calburn in a foot race with Piddington, who's got the throw for his side. Vigili. Now Piddington to Luke Vigili. He looks to find Jared Baker, but too close to Trot. And Trot goes down. Well, there wasn't much in that. I think Matt Trot tried to make a lot of that. He's a much bigger man than Jared Baker is. As Luke Vigili got up with a header and he's deflected it into the path of Calburn. And a goal for Maitland here would be massive in the context of this two-legged tie. Absolutely massive. So remembering next week, based on what I've seen online, it's 3 p.m. kickoff at Arthur Eden Oval for the first leg on Saturday, Lambton and Edgeworth. And then Sunday, similar story.
3 p.m. kickoff?
Well, it says 3 p.m., but normally it's 2:30, so go figure.
Yeah, but we had the issue with the scoreboard before, so who knows?
And the other thing is there's extra time. It's penalties for the lower grades if...
That could be the reason. That could be the reason. It'll be 11, 1 and 3. Because there is extra time for the lower grades, not just straight to penalties. So Mitch Oxborough makes way, and Alex Kantorowski. It's good to see him back out there because he has had a terrible run of luck with ACL injuries down the years. Brother of Ben and Michael. Here's Vigili. Josh Piddington. Zach Thomas was able to keep it inside. So final 90 seconds. And Vigili is speeding away. Zach Thomas stopped him in a flash. And as Vigili caught one in the face, he let out a cry. Now Alex Kantorowski tried to go with the outside of his boot towards Vigili.
Really at the back end of this game, boys. Magic desperately would love to get one at home. Level things up a bit when they go away.
Well, just remember these two sides have played twice this season. Both of them draws. 1-1 at Magic Park in round 5. 2-2 at Cook Square Park in round 16. Is it going to be another draw? Alex Kantorowski and Matt Thompson getting tangled up. Cody Carroll. And here's Jared Baker. Good turn from the young man. Feeds it into Kantorowski. Hoole. As the run of Kantorowski opts to use Baker. Cody Carroll with some space in front of him, but it's Carl Thornton who closes that off in a jiffy. Ryan Ensor. Baker.
He's been busy, Baker, hasn't he, CT, since he's been on?
Threatening and a couple of really good touches. He's certainly looking like he could make something happen. Hasn't got long though. Probably about 3 minutes extra time, would you expect?
Oh, there'll be a few minutes there, I'd expect.
So here's a problem for Broadmeadow. Ryan Ensor not in a good way. He looked to be not in a good way probably about 10 minutes ago.
They've already made their subs.
And to be honest, credit to Ryan Gallagher for keeping a handle on this one. We said it before that it was getting a little bit fiery, and it was looking as though it was going down. And we said it's the player's responsibility as well to keep everything in check.
Well, there's no doubt
It's
about
not just all on the referee.
That's
what
for sure.
we need to make certain, because too often I feel like people feel it's the referee's responsibility to stop that happening, but it's not. The players have a role to play as well. They're adults too.
Yeah.
And the thing about this is that players, if you get sent off unnecessarily, your teammates, you've let them down. So it's not just your coach or whatever yourself. You've let your team down. You can't do it. It's a fine line, and Gallagher's done well in keeping it in order.
Vigili. Straight into the path of Joel Wood. Now Thornton. Up goes Alex Reid, the late goal specialist. Is there a late goal from him tonight? Back heel from Cowburn towards Sean Pratt. And here is Ensor. Yeah, limping heavily. Not good, Ryan Ensor. Thornton. So we're into stoppage time now. Reid off the chest towards Sean Pratt. Big moments now. Big moments. Brian Mora kept it inside. Hoole. And now Vigili in a foot race with Thomas. But that's why Zach Thomas is so good. Smudge, he is so quick and he's able to keep up with James Vigili.
And he's got the height as well. Yeah, he's so quick. Quickest in the club, I believe.
And so often tonight, just when you thought James Vigili is going to be able to get in behind, Zach Thomas has got there in a flash. Here's Sean Pratt with the mo. Different look for him. And now Nick Cowburn, he got him behind. Good back heel, Bitts slipped. And Wood is going to win his side a corner. Well, Paul Bitts probably had his heart in his mouth for a moment then, as the turf just gave way. So, Nick Cowburn to take the corner. Is there an exclamation mark on a really fascinating night of football? Cowburn in. Well, it sat there. And that will be it. Will these teams ever be split? For the third consecutive match, it's all locked up at the end of 90 minutes. And that sets up one cracking semi-final showdown next Sunday at Cook Square Park. The Magpies chasing a first ever appearance in a top flight grand final, and Broadmeadow Magic trying to keep their hopes alive of defending their title in 2019. Maitland with the first goal. Joel Wood put it in. Magic responded in the second half through Christian Brymora. And then Nick Cowburn scored almost instantly. And then Josh Piddington equalised once again. Full time at Magic Park. Broadmeadow Magic 2. Maitland FC 2. And we're going to head downstairs. And we're going to try and have a chat to CT. Who's going to grab someone down there? Smudge, but what a cracking second half that was.
First half was a cracker. But full credit to Magic to get back into the game. 2-2. They'll be reasonably happy going into the second leg. However, I think they need to win. 2 away goals does hurt them a little bit. But, yeah, what a cracking game. Cracking 2 games, to be honest. It's
Well, whoever wins goes through. Simple as that.
Yep.
Whoever wins will go through to the grand final. I tell you what, it's a jovial atmosphere down there. Chris Turner copping a little bit of curry. We'll find out who he is actually going to grab. And he's letting Joel Wood go past. He's going to try not to
I think he's going to
get it wrapped around. He's almost taken out Ruben Zadkovic.
Out Michael Bolch, I can see.
With the cord. But Smudge, next week, so Lambton up against Edgeworth on Saturday. And that's going to be a tough one for Lambton, down by 4-1 in the first leg, but this one next Sunday.
Looks a bit disappointed, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's anyone's game. We'll head downstairs. Chris Turner has got Michael Bolch. CT, you can take it away.
Guys, I'm joined here by Maitland head coach Michael Bolch. Bolchy, thanks for joining us here now. Mate, we're in leg 1 of the semi-finals. You've come here, popped a couple of goals. How are you feeling right now? Because you look a little bit frustrated.
Oh, disappointed, probably more the word. Thought we dominated the game first half, hit the post, hit the bar. Probably should have come in a couple more up at half-time, to be honest. Look, second half, credit to Magic, they came at us. Got an equaliser, we scored again, and they kept coming again. Look, I thought it was a quality game, honestly. Probably not so much from a coach's point of view, but from a spectator's point of view, they got their money's worth.
Yeah, absolutely. And from a spectator's point of view, we did get our money's worth, and there was plenty of reason to think that Magic were right back in this game. They came out with a different level in the second half, didn't they?
They did. Look, the intensity of the game, I thought it's the best I've seen since we played the Mariners midweek in the FFA Cup. Probably in the comp, probably the highest intensity game I've seen all year. Night time helps, 6 o'clock Sunday night, but I thought it was a game of 2 halves. They probably were a bit better second half, but I thought we were better first half, which is something we spoke about. We've been poor the last month, conceding early. Really made a point of having to come out on the front foot, which you do against Magic. Look, they might have just scraped in the semi-finals, but they're always a quality side. They've been in semis or grand finals for the last 8-10 years. This is Maitland's second year. We're still learning. It's a good group, but we'll improve from that next week. I thought we were really good for 60 minutes. We probably didn't get as much off the bench as I would have liked that we have in the last few weeks. But then again, it's a real hard game to come off the bench and get involved in and get a foot in.
Yep. You brought Matt Thompson on second half. Obviously, strategic move. Swanee had a yellow card under the belt. Things were getting fiery. Magic were coming at you. Obviously, very strategic from you. And how do you think Tomo's going to play the rest of this series out?
Oh, look, it's a hard one. It's not about Tomo. We've got 15 players, and it's just getting the right balance each week. So the Swanee was more of he sort of ran out of legs a bit and got a knock when he made that tackle. So I think with the two of them there, we looked a lot more solid than when we made changes. They only had one of them sitting in. But we'll go away and we'll watch the video again and see what we identify out of that.
Just finally, as a coach, there's a million things go through your mind on the sideline. Obviously, that was happening with you this afternoon. We've known each other for a long time, and being honest, what's the mindset through this week? You've got 2 away goals. Where are we going from here?
Look, I don't really set much into that until the last 10 or 15 minutes of a game. If you go out there with a mindset of a 0-0 draw, 1-1 draw with 3 away goals, it bites you in the arse. We've just got to go out there as if it's 0-0. If we score a goal at home, they've got to get a couple to beat us, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's just start again next week, honestly.
Okay, well, there's the experience of Michael Bolch, boys, right there. Congratulations on the premiership win, by the way. And look, we love what Maitland's done this year, and you've been at the helm of it. And wish you all the best for next week. And then if you're through to the grand final, also all the way through.
I appreciate it, CT, and thanks for the boys. Great job every week.
Yeah, well, look, we appreciate it. It's good fun. Thank you.
Cheers. See you, buddy.
Thanks to Michael.
Well, guys, that's head coach Michael Bolch, and that's his thoughts for next week.
Thank you to Michael Bolch and Chris Turner.
Come and say hello. Quick,
And
we're almost done. Is that your dad?
We'll go back downstairs.
Yeah, and what's your dad's name?
Hello.
Hello. Hello, Dad. Well, isn't this the best fun ever? And what do you like most about your dad?
Go Magic.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. You've done a good job. Take your ball. Boys, back up to you. This is what we love about Barty TV. And look, Michael Bolch, he's going to reset himself and his side for next week. 0-0 draw as it stands. It's going to be a great game up there at Maitland, and we're really looking forward to it. Magic have got to come out and come out firing because they're going to be tough to beat at home.
Yeah, looking forward to next Sunday. Magic up against Maitland, that one at Cook Square Park on Sunday, 3 p.m. kickoff, and Lambton and Edgeworth next Saturday. Really looking forward to a big weekend of action. UFM Grand Final as well will be on, so Bell Swans through to that, and South Cardiff and Cooks Hill playing midweek in that second leg, so we'll find out during the week. Smudge, thanks for your company tonight.
Yeah, it's been a big day, Bart. Father's Day, 2 massive games, and only a few weeks to go and the comp's done.
You sound rather excited about it.
No, it's been very exciting.
It's a sad... Oh, no, you haven't been around.
It's only 2 weeks to go, and then it's done. So
it's a sad time of the year. Very sad time of the year. But anyway, it's upon us, and looking forward to it. All right, thanks for your company. Broadmeadow Magic, what a fight back in the second half. They finish locked up 2-2 with Maitland. Looking forward to next Sunday's big clash at Cook Square Park. Until then, it's goodbye from us.